afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything amazing Propagandacast. Me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda. Off here to 1 vs 1 on a Faymonville Approach. In the north, it is Nicko fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the Panzerlehr Panzerdivision with German infantry, Jaeger infantry, and lightning war with double panzer infantry bulletins versus the south. It is Ashablois fighting for the Wehrmacht. Oh, not the Americans. Freedom, democracy. The 1st Armored Division with Recon supporting me, chosen here. Triple infantry bulletins there for Ashablois. And as always, please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and press the bell button. Double rifle start there for Ashablois. Grenadier MG42 there for Nicko, setting out swiftly for the fatherland. We got barbed wire going up rapidly here by the cutoff point, so the opponent can't easily lock Ashablois down right outside of the base. Tank traps going down there. A rifleman on the way there for Ashablois, seizing the northern point here. MG42 seizing the point there, very good. All nice and dandy. Grenadier setting out there with the 2nd rifle squad there. Done for Ashablois. Note by the way that Nicko's going for a very spread out approach here with troops in the north, centre and heading southwards there, which is a bit risky versus the Americans in any one-on-one engagement, unless it's they're running straight to the MG42 when it's prepared. It can end up a bit poorly there for Nicko. So it is a bit risky there, since usually in these situations where one rely on like combined arms and your units working together rather than just everyone heading in, well, their own direction. So we'll have to see how this works out. Rifling for the southern fuel. MG42 there might just set up in time. It's going to be a close one there. Depends on where Nicko sets up right there at the very edge. MG4 setting up. Rifles. Do they spot it? Or is at least sensing got something going on there. We got Pathfinder's way there for Ashablois. Very good. 2nd Grenadier squad almost done there for Nicko. Grenadiers was rifling here. Fighting for the northern fuel point as well. Pani setting for the northern victory point. And there we go. Grenadier squad number 2 out. Pathfinders then moving ahead with their scope Garans and their M1 carbines. Seizing the northern victory point. Arriving hanging back. Grenadiers sort of on watch there as well. Second Grenadier squad looks like Nicko's going to make a push there for the northern fuel point and leave the MG42 a bit dangling behind. Note he's pulling it back here. Though of course, yes, we're still worried about flanks, and likely that is what Ashablois is going to move. Just move up behind here, assuming there's an MG42 there again if it didn't get spotted. Up north here, Pioneers will support the Grenadiers. Good move there. Combined arms here, sort of. For the Pioneers in this case, taking heavy damage. Then moved up across negative cover still. It's lying the Grenadiers. A lot of free shots there at the rifle. It should overall give the upper hand there to Nicko there. But there you go. MG42 flanked by the rifle very easily there by Ashablois. Thumbs up there. Though thumbs down, I guess, to Nicko for losing that one. But there you go, grab the northern fuel point there. Rifleman falling back, but there's still going to be a thorn in the side there at Nicko for a time. Going for the cuff one there with the Grenadier squad, looking to slow down the resource income there. And we got a 3rd Grenadier squad on the way there for Nicko. We'll have to see where that ends up. Still no sign of a doctrine there. Seizing the northern fuel point. Bunker up as well for Nicko. Very good. MG4 sitting around the cuff point there. Liaisons need to be a bit careful about that. And we got a lieutenant on the way there for Ashablois. So the platoon command post being activated. Probably going to be seeing the M20 here versus Nicko. So that is very much part of the American meta game at the moment. Light skirmishing here. Variations can do some damage, but all the Grenadiers should have that one won. Medic bunker there being upgraded for Nicko. No sign of any high attack though. You'd usually be seeing that roughly by now. Got the northern fuel point. Even the south resources being cut off there by Ashablois' aggressive raids. Though obviously it needs this point cut off as well at this point, since otherwise that also connects. So little fun site. No, there we go. Grab the point here. Medic bunker ready. Still no take up for Nicko. So the question is, what is Nicko planning here? Is there something else he's got in mind, or is it just a bit of forgetfulness? He's preoccupied with also shooting Americans. Mechanized command post there being upgraded for the platoon command post for Ashablois. That'll again be the fast M20 out here versus Nicko, who has of yet to tag up, meaning there's going to be no immediate counters to the M20 here from Nicko. And there you go, M20 on the way there by the 4-minute mark, and Nicko is finally taking up here. But again, the response to the M20 will be delayed, and that's going to give Ashablois a bit more pressuring room versus Nicko. So nice little window of opportunity here. We'll have to see how Ashablois makes use of this. Could be used well, could be mishandled. Always a possibility there. Oh, cancels it, then goes for it again, indicating perhaps some hesitation there from Ashablois. Not entirely sure as to maybe where Nicko is in terms of text, if that is what Ashablois truly desires. Either way, though, does end up going for the M20 in the end. Oh, it's got tank traps going up to help defend the northern fuel point a bit more easily. The south, a bit more skirmishing. Grenadiers been catching a rifle caught between the lines of 5. Pathfinders hanging back here. MG4 advancing, and we got the M20 slowly on the way there for Ashablois. tech almost done there for Nicko, I imagine. There we go, in fact it is done. Just need the Pioneers to build. I'd like to make a nice company, but the Pioneers are a bit busy at the front line. And of course, with the flamethrower there, they also can't necessarily dig out Ashablois infantry pretty easily, to that way allow for more swift advance. So it sort of creates a bit of a sticky situation there where Nicko needs light vehicle, but at the same time also needs the Pioneers at the front line, certainly highlighting one of the difference between the Wehrmacht and the Americans. Again, the Americans don't need to like any specific builder units to get stuff going, so again they just press a button and that's it. Whereas with the Wehrmacht, you need to research the tech and then you need to build the building, putting back a frontline unit to achieve that purpose. Panzergrenadier on the way there for Nicko and for Das Vaterland. Panzer is certainly catching on a lot more as of late. In particular, there seems to be a lot of players going for G for the fleets on the Panzergrenadiers. Still not super sold on that, but they definitely seem more popular with a lot of players, so there's clearly something going on there. Panzer Sport, they're almost done here for Nicko. There we go. Still no sign of a doctrine on there. Go, like to make a nice company going up. Ashablois so far leading aggressive resource raids there against Nicko quite effectively. Panzer there veering off, is reinforcing and in some good need of healing. MG4 to defend the northern fuel point, though it's not quite his yet, but it could very quickly become that. Like to make a nice company up. You're probably seeing a 2-2, maybe 2 here from Nicko versus Ashablois. We'll of course see what Ashablois ends up with next. Airdrop combat group here, and it could be an idea here. Paratroopers plus of course the pack howitzer could give Nicko a bit of an uncomfortable time, and there you go, 2-2 on the way there. And he could try for rough names, go. That's exactly what Ashablois was expecting. The meet begins when the lieutenant realizing the situation could get a bit explosive. Panzergrenadier advancing, backed up by Grenadiers, 2-2 halfway done there for Nicko and the Panzerlehr Panzerdivision. Worth noting that Ashablois has not upgraded the M20 there with any armoured side skirts, making it a bit easier to deal with there for Nicko's forces, if they can get close enough. Panzer then moving in and routing the riflemen there efficiently with their Sturmgewehr 44. Fighting from the northern victory point here continues, but the northern fuel point remains a neutral. Power funds there being routed, casualties piling up. There you go, Bundring on the retreat path. Almost got the fully wiped there. Probably can finish off the last surviving runner there. M2-2 moving in as well. But nope, I'm trying to get in the way there and saves the last remaining member there. But there you go, 2-2 moving in. Almost got it. Stops up though, and that might just be enough time for Ashablois to pull away the M20. Still light tank on the way there though for Ashablois to help deal with this Nazi arrival of light vehicles. Pioneer sandbagging up north here using the barbed wire laid down by Ashablois to deny the enemy that. And there we go, airdrop combat group for Ashablois. Paratroopers and a pack car to put pressure down Nicko. Southern fuel pump being secured by the Grenadier and a pack 40 for Nicko. Probably figuring that the chance for stud light tank is pretty high, plus with the M20 the pack 40 will be handy, and of course versus any later armour. Certainly a lot of reason to go here for the pack 40. We could also just go for another 2-2 and try to be a bit more aggressive with it, though on a map like Faymonville it can be a bit tricky due to the way the map is sort of proportioned. 2-2 versus the lieutenant, hammering away with the autocannon crash machine gun. Paratroopers advancing there for Ashablois and the Burst Arm Division against the Panzerlehr Panzerdivision. Almost got the southern fuel. One thing Nicko could also begin considering would be a mortar artillery support there versus some of the Ashablois infantry and support weapons. Smoke screens could of course also that way be a very handy addition. So that might be something there to consider for Nicko down the road. And these here I think need to get out of there very fast. This super low on health, the easy targets. Also worth noting Ashablois is actually laying down mines with the M20. Very interesting, not something you see a lot of, but nice to see, unless you're the one, you know, having to run into them, in which case they're obviously less nice to see.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
But from a caster's perspective, they're quite a sort of nice thing to see since they're just so rarely utilised, and they can be quite effective, though, because again, just being able to mobilise an opponent's tank or vehicle is really powerful in certain circumstances and can quickly rock them in a momentum and assault, and also just make it impossible to get out of there fast. Sturming in, shooting a bit there, but also staying at a safe distance. We got Reason's Path Lieutenant fighting against the Pioneers in the north here. Pack hard to fire, shattering barbed wire and Pioneers alike. The assault continues against the car front. The Panzers are taking too much damage here from Ashablois to a light tank, and the fighting for the southern fuel point also is going on, though has quickly ended in the face of the 2-2-2. Quick maneuvers there with the infantry. Pack 40 also repositioning again, probably worried about having exposed itself to a possible barrage there from the pack howitzer. Ashablois with the ambulance on the way there. Right, healing. And in theory, reinforcement if, it gets moved out besides the base. Take up there for Nicko, very good move there. Faster panzers, or say a fast flak panzer. Could be a very good pick here versus Ashablois and give Ashablois a bit of a headache. Ambulance almost done.
Ambulance ready for action.
Seizing the southern fuel point there. A lot of back and forth over the fuel points between these two veteran players. Riflemen, paratroopers, and pathfinders on the move.
We're losing a capture point.
Fixing up the 2-2-2 there. Push for the centre here by Ashablois. Paratroopers, pathfinders, riflemen all streaming in. Pack 40 repositioning just a light bit. And up north we got the MD-42, there's the lieutenant. Still no sign of a doctrine here though for Nicko. At this point, Nicko really feel like should have a doctrine chosen. I mean, they would all be good picks for different reasons. But so far there is a great hesitancy. Also just lots of munitions being floated here. No upgrades for the Grenadiers, neither veteran squad leaders, G for the freezer light machine guns, all of which I think would give Nicko a really strong upper hand here. There's a lot of Ashablois infantry which is currently not upgraded. So it does stand out that Nicko so far is not going for any upgrades, instead prefers to keep all that munitions so they're just collecting dust. Panzergrenadier gaining veterancy 1. Take up done, can't begin to build the Suprema Corps there. But will take some time to make anything out of it. Also, we finally got some munitions expenditure, so there we go. Light machine guns in the Grenadiers certainly makes Jaeger infantry lightning wall less possible. Technically, it also makes German infantry less possible. But, we'll have to see, though. I would certainly say Jaeger infantry maybe less possible than either lightning wall or German infantry. There's obviously offer a lot more as well besides just G43s in a sense. Whereas if you go for Jaeger infantry, like the G43 Grenadiers tend to be like the core of the strategy, but they're not necessarily with lightning wall or German infantry. Simply I have more components to them. Up north, MD-42 touching down the lieutenant. He is stuck and won't be going anywhere anytime soon, except backwards to the base. Stu moving in there. Bit of light skirmishing. Ooh, that's an aggressive pack out there from Ashablois. Could be discovered and seized by Nicko, which will also do a bit of loss of Ashablois. There go, bun grenade on the lieutenant on the retreat path. Excellent throw there by Nicko, and could very well see wiped the lieutenant, or maybe not, maybe not. Then again, negative cover, and gets away. That was a really close shave there for Ashablois. Nicely thrown grenade out by Nicko. Rifle versus Panzer going to get Panzers getting ready. So we got Pioneers moving up. So Palmer course still not happening. Panzers there taking man loss from the pack house, and the south fuel point being seized. Lots of back and forth action. Halfway to see the northern fuel point, but starting to lose the southern one as well. More Panzer Grenadiers there for Nicko, putting him at 5 infantry squads with 3 Grenadiers and 2 Panzer Grenadier squads, which is a lot of infantry, though there is still a lack of clarity as to what it is Nicko actually wants here. More Grenadiers as well, having lost 1 squad. I know more Panzers might not make sense, but some sort of doctrinal choice would make a lot of sense there. But there you go, 2nd Panzer squad out there for Nicko. So Palmer Corps is still remaining very much sort of a thing not happening, and there you go, doctrinal choice happened. It is lightning war, and Nicko immediately begins popping G43s on the Panzer Grenadiers. In the south, the Grenadiers versus the paratroopers there. Panzer going from the northern re-echelons, troops are healing and enforcing. Stewart there in line of fire, the Pack 40, but the Pack 40 either misses or doesn't see it and shoots. G43s almost done with the Panzer Grenadiers for Nicko. MD-42 the retreating, Grenadiers going for the cuff point, and there you go, G43s done on the Panzer Grenadier. Other squad with 12 kills in Red Tier 2 so far. Killer fire raining down. Here we got a trick from the centre by Nicko in the south. Got skirmishing here between the Stuart and the Grenadiers with riflemen to assist. No response there from Nicko, and still no support Mako either. Not entirely sure what Nicko's planning here. I hope he's not going to try and stall for the Tiger right now, since I don't think that'd be, considering the fuel situation, not the most optimal move there by Nicko. He needs some tanks first to stabilise the situation, get an upper hand versus Ashablois before trying to push for anything like a Tiger tank. There you go, Pack 40 crew got wiped out. For the fleet building and assault rifle building panzers pursuing the Pathfinders, looking to get them wiped out, but not quite succeeding in that endeavour. No take. Oh, we do get take up there for Ashablois. As I said, there's no take up happening. It happens, and we also finally got the support up there for Nicko, plus tier 4, which does. Oh, there we go. Delay the Panzer 4, but I think Nicko realises that would be a bit silly and immediately sets up to go for the Panzer 4 first, and then can always just mostly begin teching for the bigger stuff. Head-on assault into the ME42 ends up with predictable assaults as Ashablois forces get suppressed. Adding incendiary piercing rounds, very good addition there. Packhouse landing a bit closer than the south. We got the Grenadiers with the Stuart light tank. On 20 bar away. Still alive, and it's still worth noting he is yet to upgrade it with any armoured skirts. Ashablois is also laying out more anti-tank mines with it. Interesting. Skirmish in the south, Lincoln these men surprise us do with a Panzerfaust, though they will not be able to finish it off, and Nicko has nothing in the vicinity to really do the job either. So most Nicko's just buying time and the Grenadiers in the south to do what they want and just keep the Stuart off the battlefield for a bit there. And 20 rushing to the base, looking to take out the Pioneers, but looks like he realises that might have extended a bit there, retreats the M20. Close one though, certainly would have sucked a bit there for Nicko. Plenty of fuel being floated, but manpower wise it's a bit more of a struggle there for Nicko thanks to all the infantry and the casualties they're suffering. G43s on the other Panzer Grenadier squad as well there, so that's 2 Panzer Grenadier squads. Upgrade with G43s, Lieutenant rushing straight past them, and 20 on the move there. You got 429 versus 348, M20 sneaking in again, Pack 40 moving up though, and once more does not get a shot off. Assault through the south, but there you go, grenade on the MG42 right before they get suppressed. Sadly not enough, you got the Pioneers supporting course power to get unsuppressed again and then get suppressed again. Machine force retreat as heavy pack hard to fire there, threatens to wipe it out. Northern fuel pumping ceased once more. We got Panzer opening up the Pathfinders, so I think need the other Panzer squad to really join in here. A better chance. South open there to Ashablois and the 1st Armoured. Pioneers dealing with the rifle. We got Red Tier 3 there versus Red Tier 2. Forcing a route there, very good. Seizing the northern fuel point back. Northern victory point already seized. That means Nicko's now control most of the actual points there, with 4 strategic points being all Ashablois has at the moment. Tier 4 on the way, so is it a Tiger tank? Is it a Panzer 4? Bit unclear at the moment here what Nicko is aiming at. Ashablois can soon begin considering a tank, though there's still a bit to go before any Shermans or Jackson tank destroyers could be rolling to the front line here. Fighting for the centre. And up north there, Panzer was immediately routed by the M20, which is so far being handled quite nicely there by Ashablois. Good manoeuvring and all that. And a good sense of unit preservation with it. Who's advancing? We got riflemen up there. M20 taking direct hit from the Pack 40, almost taken down, but not quite anyways. Do you see any more mines there from Ashablois? None that I can see. But that can rapidly change in the south here. Officers and still light tank there tanking with German infantry as they launch a small-scale counterattack without any armoured support or anti-tank support. They're going to find themselves with a harder time gaining traction. Almost got the fuel there for the Tiger tank. Manpower-wise isn't far off either. Pack 40 route here to assist with the Stuart light tank, very good. Rifle moving up, Panzers moving in there, pushing back the lieutenant. Stuart, though, continues to be quite a nuisance, though there's the pack front to back them up. Forcing the Stuart there to pull back for now. And Panzer attacking unison on the centre position, forcing away the Ashablois infantry. Back here, troops in reinforcing. So Paul McCott there for Nicko. Still nothing happening. Again, seems like it is a target tank down the way. I mean, at the moment, Ashablois can't really punish it, but at the same time, it does mean, you know, Nicko's losing out an opportunity to just hit Ashablois hard now, and showing way to punish Ashablois for not really having any anti-tank guns faster, but that's that. Rather than taking heavy damage, they're taking an almost terminal hit there from the pack howitzer. We got 13 kills, 22 of North M20 there, causing them before to retreat. Seconds away from the target tank, and there you go. Nicko can call it in now, and does call it in here to support the fatherland's efforts in the sector. Setting forwards for the fatherland with its 88mm gun and 100mm thick Krupp-style armour. Pinmount machine gun on the way, very good, heading northwards there. Rifling southwards, Lieutenant also moving about, no upgrade there. Sherman on the way for Ashablois though. Ashablois, I imagine, will find that the Sherman might pale a bit in comparison to the target tank and may not perform as well. Ashablois there cancels it, like going to go for the Jackson tank, so which has a better chance versus the Tiger tank rather than the Sherman. So making the right decision there. One kill in the Tiger tank so far. And there you go, M36 Jackson away for Ashablois, Stuart heading northwards. South points, they're being seized. Nicko has barely any map control right now versus Ashablois. Might want to be careful about that. Stuart moving about. M20 bar way is still operational. There you go, more mines from Ashablois, more M20 mines. Over 20 minutes into the game, that is really impressive. That is something you next to never see. So, 2 thumbs up there to Ashablois. That is some very solid mining. Panzer's moving ahead with the G43s and back up with the Tiger tank. Tiger tank shoots and misses. Noting, of course, that the M20 still has not been upgraded with armoured skirts. Ashablois clearly does not care. Tiger tank shooting, missing. Taking hits there from the bazooka team that Ashablois hold in, though. The 2 bazookas have managed to make little impression on the Tiger tank and its crew so far. I'll wait in 36 Jackson tanks right there for Ashablois in the 1st Armoured Division. Ready to unleash hell upon the crats of the Panzer Division. Tiger tank falling back, we got skirmishing north here. Panzer versus the Stuart light tank. We got mines here as well. Going to be advancing against the Lieutenant in the south. Paratroopers routing the centre. Panzer there, half 8 of it, just need 2. And we got the 5th cav on the way there for Ashablois to help contain Nicko's infantry and of course give Ashablois something to help defend with as well. But can of course easily be used defensively. Nicko can soon begin going for additional armor to back up the Tiger tank. Stuart should be the faster option versus all the vehicles. Ostrom goes to the infantry, of course. Panzer IV will be an in-between thing. There you go, Rifle being ambushed by the Tiger tank. Shooting, not quite hitting. Quickly change though. No, Nicko decides not to push his luck here versus Ashablois. Also now noting he has Stuart close air support ready with command points unlocked and of course the munitions ready as well. Now just need to find a good time to call in and it could really give Ashablois tanks a very difficult time. Looking forward to them being slowly built up with the pack howitzer. Nicko still not a huge fan of artillery here. Not even the lighter stuff like the mortars. And he's moving up. Panzer in this dude light tank doing good here. We got the rifle defend the southern victory point here for now. We got 86 versus 250. Northern victory point being held there by Nicko. Is going to use target tank good to go once more for Deutschland. Using it for the northern field point there. Back here, troops in reinforcing. Nothing further going there for Nicko. Canton go for a Panther 4 call, try and take out and go for Panthers and jump Panthers to back up the Panther at this, or target at this point. We shall see what it ends up with. Lots of missing here. Lots of shots, not quite hitting the marks. Stuart Panther fast with the gun leads. M20 still alive here for Ashablois. Still alive. There is some really impressive unit preservation here by Ashablois. Target tank moving ahead here. 2 kills, half fate to veterans 1. Target tank continues to shoot. Ooh, could try and take out the pack out here. That I think would be quite helpful there for Nicko. But decides not to push for it. He falls back with the target tank instead. Jackson shoots, misses, well, penetrates the target tank, doesn't miss in any actual manner. Fighting here for the southern points. Panzers with the G for defeat, advancing, a lieutenant being pushed out into the open. Center victory point seized. Panther on the way there for Nicko and for the Panzer Division. Ace Panther, they're filing up the paratroopers, backed up by more Ace Panther gunners. They're not quite Ace, and they're going to use the light machine gun. Might try and pop a ground grenade in the retreat path, hope to kill them. In this case, Ashablois seeing through Nicko's tactics and decides not to risk that one again. Gun is being pursued by rifle resistance, and the lieutenant in before true ready. Could maybe time the incendiary piercing around here to tear the infantry apart, but decides not to. Could be seen as a missed opportunity, but then again, probably not. Second of these, they continue their hunt for American infantry and support weapons, almost getting that pit cover crew, but not quite. And there you go, Ashablois following up with a Sherman tank. Seemingly figuring that one Jackson tank on a bunch of bazookas will be sufficient to hold off the Tiger tank. There may also just be a recognition that Ashablois needs something a bit more hefty to deal with the infantry. In that regard, shown to the high close rounds will certainly do the trick. Hands one hops on the lieutenant on the major here, pin up machine halfway done. Major just running, lucky to escape a fate that will be quite terminal. In the south, M20 with 10 kills, skirmishing out with the Grenadiers. Skirmishing over the centre, but more infantry are arriving to turn it into an actual larger scale battle between these two. In the south, the M20 is still like to head back up now by the M20. And as they're slowly being cut ribbon, be careful they don't end up retreating too late, otherwise they could be taken out by all the light vehicles. There we go, forcing a retreat, and there's a good chance of being wiped. There's so much firepower that Ashablois bring to bear on the retreating Grenadiers that they... I mean, they're going to have to be pretty lucky, I think, to make out of that one alive. There you go, Tiger tank proved to be that light there. Nope, not even that was enough. Grenadiers got wiped up, bit of a loss there to Nicko and the Panzer Division. We'll have to, I think, replace those losses there versus Ashablois. Tank being engaged. Jackson though misses. Up north, further fighting being ready to develop there. Panther's going to try and flank up behind the Jackson tank. Try a nice aggressive maneuver there by Nicko. That of course requires support there, or at least some more numbers to make that one really pull through, and that is a bit was lacking there for Nicko. Still, I like the idea. A fair bit. Basically holding up with the march from inside the house target and then engaged, and we could see the suit go down here for Ashablois. One hit from the pack 40, and it's down for the count. 9 kills veterans once using the southern fuel. Up north here we got Panzers there being routed, though they are still alive for now. 9 kills on the Tiger tank, veterans who won. Jackson tanks on them on the way. The Ashablois help deal with Nicko's armour, his Panzerwaffe. 20 swiftly disengaging there from the Germans, as it obviously lacks a thing to really go toe to toe with either a Tiger tank, a Panzer IV, or a Pak 40. More ponies from the Nicko, very good move there to get more repairs on his armour. Tries to get some mines for his actions. I mean, obviously, at this point, we know that Ashablois is mining up a lot of stuff. Of course, Nicko likely doesn't, because, I mean, how many American players actually go for those and actually go for them in like any sort of like bigger manner? Like no one except apparently Ashablois. So there's a good chance here that the M6 and the tank mounts that the M20s are laying out could prove to be crucial here versus Nicko, depending on how Nicko sort of responds to that. 27 kills in the Panzers with their G43, but then slowly being focused down here by a lot of Ashablois infantry. Will need to retreat up north here. We've got the Panthers, the machine gun, and the May there being routed as well. Gonna miss then, sees in the northern victory point. We got 364 versus 212. Infantry holding the positions here, but they're getting hit in return by the MD42 from Nicko. Gunleys are running as well. A lot of intense action. Nicko could, feels like, still benefit from a mortar for some artillery support here versus Ashablois. Air support called in here. Panthers, the Jackson tank destroyer. Well, Jackson tank destroyers. Almost got one of them, but not quite. That Panther 4 feel like it's going to go down. We got this M20 moving as well here, and there you go. Panther 4. Oh, some man survived. Target tank is getting in. There you go. Moving in, but not blitzing, which I feel like could be doing. Panther 4 down. Of course, could risk getting taken out here by the Luftwaffe. 20 also looking in the danger zone there of destruction. Almost got it there. Both are with a slim of health here. Aircraft moving in. Kanonenvogel shattering and, well, murdering the ground, but none of the American armored vehicles. Oh, close one on the Jackson tank, so but it does survive. Really close call there for Ashablois, but in this case, fortune favoured Asher over Nicko. So on the victory point, they've been seized by the Pioneers. Another Panzer 4 there for Nicko, another Panzer Kampfwagen 4. With all these Jacksons, something with a bit more range and firepower like the Stug could prove to be the optimal choice here for Nicko. That or taking up for Panthers. Nicko committing to a third Panzer Grenadier squad now. That's going to be a lot of Panzer Grenadiers. I'm guessing the third one will also be equipped with G43s unless Nicko's planning to get Panzer Shags on them. 15 kills now on the now eventually 2 target tank here from Nicko. 32 from the Jackson tank. Short Panther almost down there, fighting for the southern fuel. Has abated as Nicko is forced to leave it behind for Ashablois to seize, at least for now. Another Panther already. Panthers there on watch. Quad here, as both I think are sort of lining up for the next big move, the next big push. Panzer then murdering the infantry. Pack out of firing, Sherman on the way there for Ashablois. We got the Jackson tanks when we hit them. These are up the lieutenant. Shots fired, not quite connecting. Target tank almost good to go there for Nicko. We got the Panther reporting Sulphur here, backed out by Panzer Grenadier. All of them equipped with G43s now. Obviously, some of them much more veteran than the others. 37 versus 212. Panther moving in, engaging here as we got a big push from Ashablois in the centre. And the idea for Nicko would be to sort of attack from the flanks and clear it out. Of course, north flank is heavily mined. It could backfire Nicko, though he doesn't know. Southern flank, I think it'd be more easy to sort of flank through from our perspective, though for Nicko, obviously, the more likely move would be from the north. But southern flank would be, you know, the one that's likely to punish him. Would also be, I think, the more surprising one. So already there, just on that one as well, that would be much more effective. Sherman tank out for Ashablois in the 1st Armoured Division. Panzer 4 and Tiger tank needs some repairs. Stugs could be a good addition here for Nicko. 337 versus 201. 200 points. Ashablois is certainly trailing after Nicko in the victory points apartment, with Nicko not showing much mercy there, or giving much respite. He just keeps chipping away there at Ashablois' victory point total. Panzers with G43s need to retreat. They are no match against the Shermans, as they obviously lack anti-tank weapons. Or any tanks, for that matter. Center point, we see Paratroopers almost wiped, or Pathfinders all taken up. They're going to get Panzers going there for the Airstons, hosing them down now up close and ugly. Getting here the Lieutenant with some heavy fire going back and forth here. Grenadiers in the center. Target tank being fixed up there for the fatherland. We got the Panther on the move here for Nicko. Jack's moving in. Halfway to Veteran 3 there. Panzer Grenadiers falling back. And we got the Shermans also on the move here. Things are heating up so slowly again, having had a bit of quiet. Ashablois at full force here, whereas Nicko is a bit falling behind. Again, Stug could be an option. Machine gun is gone, by the way. is Nicko's machine gun is gone. Ashablois is very much still alive. Guessing Nicko's planning another Panzer IV to bag up the Tiger tank here. An attempted heavy Panzer IV, maybe at least a Panther. Petrol's there. Avoiding getting murdered by the Tiger tank is quite lucky there for Ashablois, considering where they were caught, which is in the damn open. So now falling back in the face of the Tiger, Southern victory point being seized here by a few plucky riflemen from Ashablois' command. Panzer IV arrives to turn that against Ashablois. Almost taking out the entire rifle squad with a single hit. Panzer moving in there, go full wipe on Ashablois. Good counter hit there by Nicko. Good counter hit. Tiger tank right in the north. And what is this? There's another M6 anti-tank mine up there. That's a lot of M6 anti-tank mines from Ashablois. I mean, 2 thumbs up. You just rarely see that many being used. So far, none have gone off. Though, of course, as soon as they do, things are going to get ugly for Nicko, and particularly like you get caught in a bad spot. Sturmgeschütz in the way there. Jackson charging forward, right to the line fire of the Tiger tank here. Oh, or not. There we go. Shoots, misses. More Luftwaffe support. And there you go. Tiger tank hits the mine. Treads are blown clean off. Stuck in a pretty horrid situation there for Nicko. Thankfully, I'm not entirely sure Ashablois is quite aware can sort of get close enough due to the air support raining in here. But there we go. Also, just to get within range, they have to kind of get within range for the Tiger tank at this point. Almost ace level there still. A brutal, unfortunate dilemma there for Nicko. Had it not been for the air support raining about, they Ashablois likely would have just rushed in and taken out the Tiger tank. Sturmgeschütz 3 Asphalt almost down there for Nicko, and das Vaterland. Panzer IV, the hosing away, 4 kills, need the Tiger tank repaired. We got the Pioneers on the move there. Lieutenant Major Pathfinder. There you go. Panzer IV crashes the Major. A major upset there against Ashablois. 3G moving in. Tiger tank there with 25 kills awaiting repairs. So close to veteran free as well. Still no sign of any artillery support there from Nicko versus Ashablois, who still has the pack house and not at veteran free. Panzer IV moving in. Going to need to retreat against pressed. Jackson there trying to get close, but instead gets hit there by the Luftwaffe. Also taking a hit from the Panzer IV. And another mine is hit. The Panzer IV is immobilized in front of the Bazooka teams. This is a horrid development there. Jackson moves in. Panzer IV is down. At this point, Nicko really should keep minesweepers around his armor to ensure they don't get bloody immobilized again. So, I mean, so far we've had 2 tanks immobilized and resulting in 1 tank's direct destruction. That was the Panzer IV Tiger tank that has survived, but even then, it's been kept out of the fighting for some time. So these mines are definitely paying off, I would say here. Ashablois versus Nicko. 50 caliber crew though did get exterminated here by the Panzers over the G33s. The Bazooka's dropped as well. We could see a full wipe there. On the Panzers, it would seem as the pack house almost forgot an entire unit with a single hit. Oh, 9! He's going straight into the mine there. He's learned nothing. I guess it's just a shock there, because who goes for those kind of mines? I mean, no one really does, but that's proved to be, I think, here Nicko's undoing for his Tiger tank, because again, it took a lot of damage. More importantly, it can't escape the Jacksons and became an easy target. So that's a massive blow there for Nicko, and a massive advantage for Ashablois. Actually on victory point, was strong to break out, but all of a sudden, thanks to those mines, Nicko's lost most of the armor and is now just down to a single Sturmgeschütz 3. Got the Pack 47 in, Jackson's charging in. Sherman also continuing the blitz here. Almost got the Jackson tank destroyed. Stu almost down. Jackson veteran 2. Need to fix it up. Panzer on the way there. Pack crew in a tricky spot. You got 337, 142. Pack they're setting up, ignoring the Sherman just to try and take out the Jackson tank destroyer, and successfully pulls it off. Stu moving in here. Close to veterans you won. And now the Jackson goes in as well. So Stu reveals himself a bit here. Almost got the Sherman. Could see it finished off here. Yes. Almost. Panzer is occupied with infantry in the front. And there you go. Air support calling again to help finish off Ashablois' remaining armor. The Stuka-Kanonenfugen fires. And the third terminal guns explode the Sherman as the munitions cook off. Lots of brutal armor engagements here. Armored casualties and whatnot is happening by the moment. Nicko, by the way, has lost his remaining Panzer Grenadiers, putting now 3 Panzer Grenadier escorts, all with G43s. Going back the 5th cover there, which Nicko was not able to seize upon here and denied to Ashablois. Now they're shown for Ashablois. We'll have to see what Nicko does next here. Pantherful good to go. Stu being repaired. Meanwhile, Ashablois is just as greedily as possible, just seizing most of the map here, trying to deny it, more importantly, just to get his resources as well. So, good play there by Ashablois. Good to play. Pantherful sets out. Pantherful's on the move as well. Return here spotted and routed. No chance against the Pantherful, and there you go, full wipe down Ashablois' infantry, down just to Rav Squad, the rear, or the Pathfinders and the paratroopers, having lost all officers and most riflemen. Sherman setting out. Trendy, by the way, is still alive. Quite impressive there, considering what's been out in the field by now. Stuke, though, is moving in here. Might attack from the north. We got a transporter infantry assault here, which is being bogged down by 5th Cab. No, not sufficient flanking. Pantherful needs to get out of there. Pack 40 moving in. Target weak point here could be helped us as Sherman. Stuke moving in. No target weak point there, but there you go. Sherman explodes. Cluster bombs called in the Pack 40 to try and finish off there. Not bad. Pantherful needs to be careful. He's Jackson almost down. Could be a loss here. And the Pantherful goes down, but so does the Ace Jackson tank destroyer. A massive blow there to Ashablois, who is down to, well, an M20 now and some infantry. A massive staggering series of blows there, whereas Nicko still has the Stuke and some panzers, though, of course. Ashablois still has the Pack Out. Ashablois still has the artillery, which, of course, could be a problem there for Nicko. Still suffering such casualties certainly has got to be a bit demoralising there for Ashablois. Pioneers fighting from the northern field point are being surrounded here by Ashablois' infantry. We got 24 kills there, and we got 34 kills. In the south, M20 makes a raid here to stop the southern victory point being seized there by Nicko's Panzer Grenadiers. We'll have to see what Nicko goes for next. Another Stug on Ostrom here I think could be a very good pick. In fact, the Ostrom will allow Nicko to go very aggressively after Ashablois' infantry, just trying to finish it faster. M20 there being pursued, but Stug how close to Betsy too. Very close. There we go. Lasted quite a bit of time there. Really impressive work keeping that M20 line. Most players I think at this stage would have thrown it away. So 2 thumbs out there for Ashablois for some really good M20 unit preservation. Duke flying away, the pin-up machine being added finally. Very good. Pantherful on the way again. Good thing I think that Nicko's not trying to solve for another Tiger right now, since I feel like that could give Ashablois more opening just to really hurt Nicko. Light machine gun's almost done. Oh, the pin machine almost done for the Stug. Up north, got Pioneers racing. Got northern points being seized there by other Pioneers. Stug there gaining. Betsy 2 shots and added, and the pin machine gun is almost ready, but not quite. But almost. Pantherful almost done there for Nicko. Back here, troops healing and forcing. Ashablois trying to figure out the next set of moves here versus Nicko and to destroy the Scourge there. Waiting them. Stug good to go. Pantherful number who knows what arrives, and the Stug is just waiting for orders. Pantherful heading southwards, adding the pin-map machine gun. Pathfinders here could be a trouble. We got funding from the northern and the centre victory points happening as well here. Big push for the centre, though. That is also where most of Ashablois' guns are focused, so a bit more dangerous. The north side should be easier, though. Just a lone Pioneers got this rifleman BARs rather did not pan out there for Nicko whatsoever. Pantherful they're getting shot at. A lot of bazooka fire. Pack 40 falling back here. We've got Pantherful loading up here. 27 kills. Veteran 3. Paratroops out in the open getting hosed down there. Need to be careful. 50 coming up from the other side. Stug hanging back here for Nicko and Deutschland. Another Sherman there for Ashablois. Clearly not intimidated by the mighty presence of the Sturmgeschütz. Pioneers being shot at there. We got the Pantherful round to the seam to provide some support there. Sherman halfway down there, fighting for the center point and the southern fuel here. Panzers on their own are being completely dismantled here by Ashablois, moving into the 5th cap, and grenades have been, oh, not reset, getting into the paratroopers actually to them, all the way good through there. Could see wiping the Panzer grenades, and that is exactly what happens. Bit of a bad one there for Nicko at this current stage of the fighting. Can't really afford any infantry wipes. Sherman almost done there for Ashablois. Almost done. Stu moving in here. And the Sherman rolls out there for Ashablois and for the 1st Armoured Division to show those crouch what for. Southern points being seized here by the paratroopers and the pathfinders. Stu hanging back. Mines hanging back here. More Panzergrenadiere for Nicko for the Panzer Division. Probably with more G43s. And Parney's meet under fire here from the Sherman. Another 50 caliber there for Ashablois, putting Ashablois in fact at 3 50 caliber machine guns once the 3rd one is ready. Certainly quite a few machine guns there, which will give Nicko a bit of a harder time. Nicko meanwhile has got, well, a pack 40 technical support weapons, no mortars, no machine guns. Certainly a bit of a flaw there, I would say, in the build order. Perhaps Panzer there being hosed down with paratroopers and by the pathfinders. And forcing a rout there successfully. Panzer almost moved up with the pack out, so we got 4 kills halfway to 52. Nicko could go for an Ostman to put pressure on the infantry. You're going to feel like an Ostman here could be a very good pick if handled correctly. Handled incorrectly is obviously not going to matter as much. Troops here reinforcing. Stug almost good to go again. We got 167, 133. Ashablois is quickly catching up with Nicko in terms of victory points. Nicko is certainly starting to struggle a bit more here, but as Ashablois' tactics and strategy, again losing that target tank and all the other tanks there to M20 mines has proven to be quite the loss there for Nicko, and has allowed Ashablois to much more successfully catch up and gain control. But again, I mean, most players, when they go for an M20, will not be laying them down. At most, they'll lay down one mine, and they won't do like what Ashablois did, which is just lay down a lot of M20 mines. So that's technically the right way to go about it. Panzer good to go. Stug, Panzer's going for the northern point. We've got a pack 40 backing up here. Stug is charging in by the looks of it. In fact, it's going to look like trying to clear out the machine gun with a Stug. Forcing retreat there. Nice bold maneuver there by Nicko. Sherman on the move here, fighting for the northern fuel point here. South one is kind of open, though a bit of arm support. Auxiliary support's coming in, so to clear up the machine gun nearby to make that a bit easier. Panzer 4 moving out once more. Oh, Stug, no! Okay, avoids the mine there. Stug versus Sherman. Pension hitting the Stug and on the Sherman. Bazooka fire though, causing more trouble for the Stug. Sherman misses the second one. Stug though does not. Slowly approaching that T3. Panzer gun is advancing. 35 kills, not too bad there, not too bad by Nicko's Panzergrenadiere. And there you go, Panzer 4 in southwards. Machine gun there is going to have to evict itself before the Panzer 4 evicts them from life. There you go, crushing half the machine gun crew beneath the threats of the Panzer 4. Nicko's cheat knows no bounds, nor his brutality. Almost got the 5th cup crew, we got the Bazooka teams bringing in here. Panzer 4 need to be careful. It's bouncing a lot of shots then. There you go, I think he's trying to crush them. Center position there could collapse as Nicko's Panzer 4 advances. There goes Sherman moving in. Another Sherman on the way there for Ashablois. Stug needs to charge in there as well. So this versus the American Sherman. There you go, more air support, so unfortunately trying to finish off Ashablois' tanks. Some damage done to the Sherman, but nothing crucial. Bazooka team going to leave with the Panzer 4, forcing a retreat there. Also preventing Nicko from, say, charging into the base to take out the ambulance, at least not without something a bit faster than the Stug or damage Panzer 4. Second Sherman almost down there for Ashablois. Infantry continues the assault for the Sunday to get the Stug out of there. Nicko at 9, not the strongest shots. Got a bit lucky there, Stug managed to pull out. Panzer reinforcing, others attacking from the north here, and we got more Panzer Grenadiers on the way there for Nicko. Looks like he could actually be setting up for another Tiger now, which Considering how things are sort of hanging in the balance, I'm not entirely sure this is the best move by Nicko. I mean, it's a pretty risky one at this stage to change another one with low victory points than Ashablois, but also just in a little smaller force. And this could definitely give Ashablois just really good time to just cripple Nicko, just sort of pull it on the victory points further. So this is risky. Moving ahead here, 27 kills, backed up with double 5th calibers. That's definitely not a situation those Panda Grenadiers have any remote chance of surviving. I mean, if Nicko had some extra armor now, that would be a great opportunity to sort of try and sneak into the base, maybe with a fast Osprey sort of attack from the south and hit the ambulance, maybe taking that out. That could be a bit of a psychological weapon there versus Ashablois. Up here, more skirms going on. Panda there getting there, not a G for defeat because there's not enough munitions here. Repairing the Stug, very good move there. And we got the 5th cover back in action. At this point, it might be a need for Nicko just to assume it's staying, just begin taking deeper flanks to clear out any potential machine guns. But no, Nicko's just moving straight ahead here. Panther close to Destiny 2. Struggling about halfway to Destiny 3. Sherman very close to Destiny 1. We've got 99 points left here for Nicko versus Ashablois 128. Certainly quite a solid comeback here that Ashablois managed to stage by this point in the fighting. Turning the tables on Nicko and is now the one in control, whereas Nicko several times certainly was more dominant there. Stug opening up, target weak point there, or heat shell as it's called here. But technically Stug would not have been firing heat shells, at least not the Model G, since this gun didn't need them. There's more of them before the Stug E. In fact, those were used quite extensively versus the KB tanks and the T-34s there when they were introduced, I think in roughly 1942 there, which caught the Soviets off guard quite a bit. Stug there moving up to clear out the machine gun at point blank, and brutal. Doing a lot of damage there. Again, keep in mind the pin-up machine gun, the Stug here, is basically the equivalent of one of these light machine gun, except it's cheaper. I believe it has slightly more range. Almost got the 5th cover crew there. It looks like one man survives, so Stug is almost there. Shown moving in. Needs to be careful of that one. And he goes, shoots, misses the Stug. Misses the Stug. Nicko there trying to move into position here. Very good. Penetrating hit here. Pack lands a good hit. Stug, they're trying to keep the front. There we go. Good hit. Ace level gained. Sherman could now be in trouble and needs to get out of there fast. Because also as an Ace Stug, it can very quickly just get exploded. Tiger tank out there for Nicko. Again, not a big fan of it at this timing. 78 versus 128. And Nicko's going to really have to work hard with that Tiger tank to really sort of make it worth it at the moment. 34 kills. 37. 17 and 33. Tiger tank moving in. Pin-up machine being added. Misses the paratroopers though. We got 78 versus 123. Paratroopers almost taken out with the Tiger tank. Very good. They could see a full wipe. Could see a full wipe. Nope. Stug needs support though. Need to cover those bazooka teams. As they do have a good rate of fire alongside decent penetration, meaning they can actually do a lot of damage to the Tiger tank. Fast and there go. Sherman's moving in as well. The Tiger tank almost dead here now for Nicko all of a sudden. Not good. The lack of engine support there certainly did not help. And of course, just charging in right at where all of Ashablois' guns are was not, I think, the smartest move either. Sherman, 5th cover heading northwards there. Being besieged within his own base. Nicko, the dust successive, was back there, Ashablois' forces, but the situation remains perilous with 78 versus 122. 77 versus 122. Tiger tank is resuming repairs, but it will take some time there for Nicko to get it back in action. Another Jackson tank's on the way to Ashablois to help deal with the Tiger tank. Very good move there. Punch them. Not entirely sure what they're doing. I think they're being a bit cautious about the 5th car, which is a good move. There you go. Second punch coming from the other side. Good, but Sherman in the way there. No armor support means things are not going to quite pan out there for Nicko in the end, despite, I would say, some good precautions. And there you go. Ace Panther Grenadiers wiped out, leaving Nicko now with just 2 Panther Grenadier squads. One of them, which is a rather rookie unit, which is only now getting its G43s. Overall, the situation is collapsing here for Nicko quite rapidly. His tactics are not looking too hot there. Jackson tanks almost done there for Ashablois. 49. H2 with 5 kills. Things fixed up swiftly there. Don't like your tank sending out and fighting over the southern point. We got a 50 cover there, but it is easily dogged here by the Panzers. There we go. Nicko realizes the fight is over and surrenders, or at least retreats. So there you go. GG, game over. An absolutely vicious fight here on Faymonville Approach with some spectacular comebacks and some very good use of the M20 mine there by Ashablois. So I hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell friends, tell family, but don't tell your enemies. This is Imperial Lincoln. Cheers. Thank you for watching. You're all a wonderful audience. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.